Please say I am now joined over the phone by Andrew Dalton, also known by his nickname Stats. He's the man who knows it all about Leeds United. Stats, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. So I guess first of all, of course you're a Leeds fan. Where did your journey start supporting Leeds United?
It's weird because my mum's family always had sort of a big interest at Elland Road back in the 60s. Her late grandfather Sidney Simon was on the board of the great Revy era, and it kind of went from there. And I went to my first game in 91, a 5-4 defeat to Liverpool. Then went to my second game in 92, a 3-0 win over Chelsea, and I was just kind of hooked from there on in. So it kind of starts from my mum's side. I think my dad hates football, which is quite ironic. So yeah, mum that kind of got me into it, and it's been a massive thing sort of since the early 90s, really. Yeah.
What's your biggest memory then supporting Leeds United?
Oh, crikey, we've had a few, haven't we? I think the biggest one for me is beating Deportivo La Coruña on April 4th, 2001 by 3-0. We were unbelievable that night. That's probably the highest point I've had of supporting Leeds. Because I wasn't really much into football back in the 91, so I was only starting out as a sort of 6-7-year-old. But by then, under O'Leary, and it's one of the biggest regrets I have of following Leeds. We didn't win anything under O'Leary because some of the players we had are absolutely brilliant. And I have to admit, everyone was 3-0 up in a Champions League quarter-final. You're thinking, wow, can it actually get any better than this? And unfortunately, it couldn't. And obviously, we're suffering years later.
Yeah. So, of course, you have a fantastic knowledge of Leeds United. Of course, the nickname Stats. When did you start collecting all these stats and building your knowledge up, and why?
It's weird because it kind of started when my mum and dad's friends used to come round to see mum and dad when I was a kid, when I was about 7, 8 years old, and they just kind of used to start testing me on results and what have you. And it then started in December 93 when I first appeared on a radio show on Radio Leeds called The Alvin Blossom Show, where people would ring up and ask football questions, and it kind of just got things from there, and it just kind of developed from there, really. And I went on all these quiz shows on Radio Leeds with a guy called John Boyd, who I'm now back in touch with, and just basically had a big knowledge for returning football results. And quite surreal that it started all those years ago, and it's kind of stuck 20-odd years later.
Yeah. Seeing on Twitter, you always get requests about you having to provide some stats for people. How many requests do you get on a daily basis, roughly?
Oh, crikey. I can get up to 5 to 10 requests when I'm sat there trying to work, or I'm sat there at home trying to chill. I do try and answer them all, but it's not always possible, and I do apologise if I can't always answer them all. But yeah, I do get. But it's nice, though. It's quite humbling as well.
Yeah.
That people kind of reach out and ask for statistics and ask for this, that, and the other. And it's nice when I provide statistics back. And I think there was the big one that I put up last January. I was actually on the way to report on the Leeds United ladies game at Crewe, and I put something about an academy stat. We were down in the academy playing every game since 2009, and there's only been 4 or 5 games we haven't named an academy prospect in. And everything. And I remember getting nearly 4,000 or 5,000 likes, and big companies got hold of it, and what have you. So there's things like we beat Luton this year. That was our 19th win in our centenary year, and I got credited with that. So it's very humbling, and I get phone calls from the club saying, "Can you do this, this, and this?" And it is very humbling to be part of something big at the football club as well.
Of course, you've written many books about Leeds United, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Leeds United all white. Of course, your latest one on 100 years of Leeds United.
Yes.
When and why did you decide to start writing books?
It's always been sort of a hobby of mine that I've always wanted to write books. I've seen people do books in the past, even when I was at school and at college and then at university, when I was doing sports journalism, that I always wanted to get into the writing side of it, and it just kind of went from there. It's funny because I was going to do a complete record of Leeds United to be released, I think, October 2012, but someone else had nicked that idea, and I was doing it with a guy called John Harwood, who's a very, very, very good writer. And someone nicked that idea, so then we did the 100 greatest players with a vote, and it just kind of went from there, really. And then I had a thirst to do something from the 1980s, so I thought it was a forgotten era. And then I got in contact with the club. Funny, actually, we were playing Middlesbrough a couple of years ago on a very, very snowy March Friday night at the Riverside, where Paddy Bamford scored a hat-trick for Borough. And I was starting the coach back thinking, I want to do a third book, what can I do it on? And I got in contact with James Mooney, who's obviously the head of communications at Leeds, hero of mine, has helped me so much through everything. say I'd like to do a 100-year book. Would that be possible? And it kind of just went from there. And sort of 18 months later, I'm at the centenary dinner, just amazed that my book is there. It was just a surreal evening.
Yeah. Could you explain the process of writing books? Like, how long does it take?
Yeah, to me, it's sort of about 18 months. Luckily, I've got a couple of publishers on side that have been very, very supportive. DB Publishing and Pitch Publishing have been very supportive. Pitch did my first book, and DB Breeding have done the second and third books. And I'm quite well known with in those side circles. And I'm just very fortunate that I saw the ideas, and then they sort of give me a brief and a synopsis of how they want to see things. And go from there, really. So I'm very fortunate to do what I can do. I've got the trust of a lot of people. The club believe in me in what I do, and I'm extremely lucky to do that. And usually takes about 18 months from the first idea to actually seeing it in print. And I think the biggest thrill for me was seeing the third book with the centenary shirt back in October.
Yeah, of course. As you said there, your latest book, 100 Years on Leeds United, came out with the club and the centenary shirt. That must have been a special feeling for you, a lifelong support of Leeds United, for that book to come out. It must have been special.
It was very surreal, Ed. I had no idea until the morning of the book release. I didn't have a clue what was going on. I went into the club shop to see if the books were in stock, and the guy, the head of commercial and the head of the shops and what have you, came down, saw him and said, "Don't worry, everything's under control. It's going to be all part of the centenary celebrations this evening." And I just sat there and I was in absolutely amazement. And it was just possibly the most surreal, amazing nights that I've had supporting Leeds United, to see my work there with a centenary shirt, and it's something that I'll never forget.
Yeah, 100% there. So, of course, this season, Leeds United second in the Championship table, pushing for promotion again, having another fantastic season.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this season overall?
It kind of mirrors last season in a way. Although last season no one knew what Marcelo Bielsa was about, and it probably took that first month when we beat Stoke on the opening day of the season, went to Norwich and absolutely murdered them and ended up being champions. And slowly and surely we got our act out of a 7-game winning run leading up over Christmas last year, and then not so much fell away, but Sheffield United just sort of overtook us. And then this year it's been quite similar. Great start again to the new season, and then obviously we had another 7-game winning run leading up sort of to December, and then we had a sticky patch. I think it's 2 wins from 11. But luckily the chasing pack didn't capitalise, and we've got 12 games left. We're 3 clear at the moment of Forest, and we've got a wonderful opportunity. I thought last year with 4 games to go they'd go up after beating Sheffield Wednesday. However, Wigan kind of put pay to all that. But I think they've learned from last season. I think there's a steely determination in the squad this season, and I think they've got a very good chance. But nothing is done until sort of that fat lady sings, and certainly won't be getting carried away even at this stage of the season.
Yeah, 100%. I think everyone will have to fingers crossed. I'll put the question to you then. Will we be going up this season?
I hate making predictions, Ed, and I'm gonna go with my heart and say yes. I think it's written in the stars. It's the 100th year. Marcelo Bielsa will have his 100th game against Charlton on the last day of the season, and I think it's just written that finally, after 16 years away, we will win promotion. But obviously, time will tell in these next 12 games.